Hello, guys, and welcome back to class. This time we are going to be focusing on data validation. Let me explain to you how data validation helps. It gives you an opportunity as a data analyst to give restrictions to the kind of data that you'll be expecting on your workbook, especially when you are designing a model, for example, for a business or a school. Let's get started so that you will really understand what I'm saying. So I am assuming now that this is a class. I want to use school as example. This is a class, and we have different. Let me say this is a school. This is, let's assume this is all the students that is there. It's highly impossible, but this is just an assumption. And then we have different classes. We have year one, two, three, four, five. We have their scores. This is their score. The over 100, they have 20 and 80. So let's assume this is their continuous assessment, and this is their exam score right there. Now I'm going to start with this. We want to put a validation here that says any letter, any word, number that is greater than 20. If you put it here to show an error sign, it means that you are making a mistake. Or if it is lesser than 0, you are making a mistake. Let me go straight into that. You go to your data, and then go to data validation. When you get here, you click on data validation. Now, you see this, it is showing any value. That is the reason why right now on the sheet, if you put any kind of letter, a number, anything you put, it will actually work. But this time we are putting a restriction. So let's say whole number. Let's assume that when they are doing their test, there are maybe options, maybe A, B, C, D, E, so they cannot get decimal points. You understand? So it's either they are getting 5 questions right, or they are getting 8 questions right. Let us see. Now, you notice when I did this part came up. So we have between, we have not between, we have all these things that we have equal to, greater than. Let me explain it to you. So I am going to say between, let the minimum be 0. At least it's only the person is either getting 0, or the person is getting, the highest is what, 20, or the person is getting 20. Then you click OK. Before then, let me explain this place. What if I want to say it is not between this? If I say not between this and this, it means if you put any number between 0 and 20, it will tell you that no, there's an error in the value. If I say equal to, you will notice it will not give me minimum or maximum, because it has to be equal to only one thing. So you are going to have just 0. Or let me say anything, you can be equal to 5, you can be equal to, it can be greater than a particular number. That's just how it is. But this time, for this situation, what we need is between. So it's between this and this, and I'll click on OK. Now let me explain to you what happens here. So if I put 30 here now, and I press enter, you see it's telling me no, the value I entered is not valid. Let's say I put 15 in here now and press enter. See, it's working. And the reason why it is working is just because it is the right validation that I have inserted there. Now I can apply this validation to the other numbers. I'm not going to remove this 15, and I want you to see what happens next. If I double click this now, hold on, sorry. So I'm here. If I double click, you see 15 goes all the way. That's not what I want. I want the validation to be affected on this cell. So what I'll do is back, and then enter. Once I do that, there's already a validation here. I will now come here. When it's like this, I will now drag it or double click. Now the validation is applied everywhere. Let's see. So let me put 90 here and press enter. Oops, sorry. Let's undo that. I didn't get down. Think. Aha. So that was what happened here. Let's take it again. Let's take the validation down to the last. Yes, and then you see that it will work now. So if I put any figure that is more than 20, it tells me no, that it is wrong. So that is that for this. Let's go to the score. Let's say we have their exams. Actually, their exams is over 80, and there are some questions that some people can actually get average. Let's assume that they can get 12.5. Let's say they can get 8.5. Let's say they can actually get 29.8 in the exams. So let's go here. We are going back to our data validation. We go to data validation, and this time, instead of any value, I'm going to say decimal. We are going to choose decimal value. I've explained this particular drop down between and all of that, and I'm using between. So I need my scores, they have to be between 0 and 80 because it is actually over 80. The exam is over 80. And then we click on our OK and we are good to go. So if I put 30 here now and enter, you see, it's going to work. It's going to work. If I put, imagine that I put, let's even go negative. Imagine I go -2. Is that possible? No, it's going to give me an error that you have input the wrong thing. If I put 90, it's going to give me an error because that is actually not what is supposed to be there. I hope we understand. Let's clear what is there and come here and drag it so it is the validation affects all the other cells. When I come here now and I do the same thing, it's going to be the same. Let me type this, tell me error immediately because that's not between 0 and 80. So having done that, let's put some dummy numbers here. Let's say over 20. Let's say Rita had 10. Let's say this person had 19. Sorry, 19. Or this person had 15 and this person scored 8, performed woefully. Let's say another person had 17. Let's say the other person had 9. Another person didn't do so well. Let's just mix it up. We have 16. We have let's say 4. Yes. And then we have 20. We have the ones that really tried, and we have the ones that had 19. Okay, I think we're good to go there. So for this one, let's say the person did not do so well in the test, tried to read and got 60 here, and then this person got let's leave the person at 77, and this other person, let's leave him or her at, okay, it's a her actually, Linda. Let's leave Linda at 45. Let's leave Peter at 30. Let's leave the next person at let's say 65, 65, 55. Have we done that? Okay, we can have um 47. Then we can have, let's add some improvement, 50, and let's give this guy 80. Okay, let's say that's the star boy, and we'll give this one 76, and then we're good to go. So we have the score here. Now I want to teach you another thing. It is the drop down. Drop down. So in this place now, let's assume I just have this number of classes, and I don't want you to be to increase the number of class. So this is the standard in this school. I have year 1 to year 5. So what do? I come here back to our validation, data validation again. This time I want a list to drop down. I want a list. You notice this between is not working because now it is asking for source. The beauty of this is you have to write it somewhere else. It makes it easier. Once you write it somewhere else, or if you are not writing it somewhere else, if you have to write, let's say for example now is grades. I want you to choose grades. I can do A then comma B then comma C then comma D then comma, and that's all. If I attach it to this now, for example, if I come here, it means the person had A, the person had B, you understand, like that. But that's not what I want. This time, I want to show you another way you can actually go about this. So I'm going to come here, click here, see the source. It's going to give me a range. Shift Control arrow down, yes, and then you see it has done that, and you've noticed it fixed it. If you look at this code here, it fixed it, and then you press OK. Now let me come here. Let me come here. Is this is year one? Let's assume this is year one. Rita is in year one. That's an assumption. So now we want this thing to cut across other places. What do? The usual thing we did. Let's just make sure that it cuts across everywhere. So if I press anywhere here, it gives me the option. Which class are you dealing with? Okay, I'm dealing with class 5. You understand? Yeah, what am I dealing with? I am dealing with class 4. This is how you can attach it to any kind of thing you are doing. For example, let's say you are talking of products, you already know this is session. This session is for groceries. This session is for stationery. So you can just put it here. So when they put it here, they come here. Okay, section B. Under section B is what this is. There's still going to be some things in your advanced class that you won't be able to do this small. You only use this when the data is not so much. It's easier. But the if we get to when we get to the advanced class, you will have more insights on how you can go about all of this. But this is more than enough for a basic class. You'll be able to differentiate. If they say, I'm about to open my supermarket, I want this is how it's going to be. You'll be able to have an idea of what and what you want to actually put in their model. Now, there's another thing we should look at. We are going here, we are going to data validation, and I want to explain. There's a whole lot: decimal, date, time. There are things that you can work with. You just go around it very easy when once you are less busy. Look at this text length. So it's telling me, okay, between what and what, how many numbers of length do you want? So let's say I say the smallest kind of length I want should be 3, let's assume, and then the highest should be, it should be a 10 letter word, and then you press OK. 10 letter word. Now let me come here and type something less than 3. Let's say this, enter. It gives me error. It cannot be 2. So if I just do Dio, enter, it worked. It stayed. Did you see that? But now let me say I choose something very, very, very long. Like let's say I say J Cole money. I'm just doing that as an example, and I press enter. See, it's telling me no, it's more than that. It's 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11. You have 11. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11, and that's why it is telling you no way, that is not going to work. I hope you understand. You can use this for stores, for products. You can use it as HR. You want to do drop down for your staff. Okay, HMO. Oh, for this department. So I'm dealing with 5 departments. So this is for sales, this is for this is for that. This thing just helps you in your business. It helps you as an administrator. These are tools that will make your work way easier for you. You don't have to be taking papers up and down. You don't have to stress yourself. Once you know that everything is here, which department, just click there. Once you click on the department on this place, the department that you need to choose from will come up. I hope this has been explanatory enough. I hope you enjoyed this class. Go ahead, make sure you practice from time to time so that you get more accustomed to some of these things. I can't wait to see you in the next class. Bye.